Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Harold Fannin Jr. had a great first game in the NFL, and I can only see him getting better. He had 9 targets, 7 catches, and so if Flacco likes him and Flacco's the guy, you know Flacco's going to find him. I guess my question is this. Do you see any scenario where Fannin kind of becomes the number 1 tight end and they either move on from Chief or just kind of move him down to T2? I mean, I'm just curious because, you know, Cleveland Browns are always thinking about next year, so I'm just curious, man, because he's a great player, and it's great if we use them both. But, man, I felt like he was tight end 1 that day. So I'm just curious, maybe it's game plan. Just want to hear your thoughts. Go Browns.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. I think in a perfect world, Jeff, they want both of them. They want 2 tight ends that can – and if Fannin develops and he becomes a clone where he can block in, they'll find a way. But it's going to depend on what type of contract David Njoku is looking for. They're not going to go crazy and pay him, overpay him, if you will.
Well, the first thing you think is, look, Harold Fannin is not making any money right now, and he's not going to be making any money anytime soon. So if you want to go ahead and say, hey, you know, let's get something together with David where it's, you know, maybe 2 years of guaranteed money, you know, the rest obviously can be something that looks really good when it goes across the screen on whatever, you know, network is airing it. Fannin is making nothing. The thing also you have to keep in mind with Harold Fannin Jr. is, you know, at his overall physical size, there's a reason he probably went in the 3rd round. You look at that production, and it was absolutely off the charts. There's no ignoring it. But, you know, is he ever going to be a guy body-wise that's going to be viewed as, hey, he can be my top guy in every aspect of the position? Can he handle, you know, in line, number 1? And look, we saw the way the Browns are using him already. It's not that they don't like him and they don't appreciate what he can do, but they might understand when it comes to the blocking aspect of his game, there certainly could be, you know, certainly some limitations. And, you know, you can't ask him to do more than he's capable of in that regard. But his intelligence at only 21 years old as a route runner, you know, I think a lot of people kind of saw his, you know, athletic numbers and kind of maybe were turned away a little bit. But he had an outstanding 3-cone drill, which is one of the biggest things that translates, obviously, to route running, how quickly you are in and out of your breaks. I think there was one point on Sunday that I think maybe he was a tad bit overworked, where he came off the field and you could see maybe he was rushing to get his breath a little bit just because, you know, obviously first game in the NFL, succeeding, a million emotions, and you got to keep in mind he's from the area, so that amplifies everything. But between him at 21 years old, Dylan Sampson will not be 21 until Sunday. Quinshon Judkins in the fold, Isaiah Bond. You know, you talk about the guys on defense. There is a youth, you know, jump here for this Browns roster. And think about this. The 2025 season started with the ball being touched by Dylan Sampson, Harold Fannin, Isaiah Bond. 3 straight rookies got the first 3 touches for the Browns on Sunday in the opener.